is the list. Now, at one level, this is just a list. Abhayam, Sattva, Samshuddhi, Jnana, Yoga, Bhavasthiti, Dhanam, Damash. Now, this is to be actually lived. This is to be experienced. And this is the pragmatic, practical aspect of yoga, which, in my humble opinion, is what makes Bharat the Vishwa Guru that he is extolled to be. I shall wait for my other panelists' enlightened comments, and we shall take forward in the next round the things that I have to say. Thank you.
जी दरबार साहब, स्वागत है आपका. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. हरि ओम.
हरि ओम.
दिस इज ये वर्तमान और वर्धमान. तो टुडे इज वर्धमान महावीर का भी जयंती है. तो पीएम आल्सो हैज सेड वर्तमान एंड देन वर्धमान. इट कॉट माय अटेंशन. वर्तमान इज द कंटेम्पररी, the contemporaneous or the current day utility is one thing, and वर्धमान का मतलब होता है कि developmental या विकसित. You know, so these are the two aspects. This set of 26, I was telling you in the previous episodes about the special significance of the special chabis, these 26 divine qualities that had during my studies as a research scholar as well as subsequently as a practicing HR trainer. I have had the good opportunity to do the analysis, research, and then deeper study into each one of these 26 divine virtues, and then I've made it into workshops. And then so if you look at it, each word, each virtue, all the 26 deserve 26 episodes, if you ask me. And with given our scholarship between 4 or 5 of us, we ourselves can take each one into each episode, because that is the significance of and the importance of the practical manual, to-do manual called the Bhagawadgita. Apart from all the other 18 adhyayas and then several virtues which have been given both philosophically and then practically, these 26 have got special significance for direct practical application in our day-to-day lives, if you examine. And today, these days, वर्तमान जगत में अभी भारत में elections चल रहे हैं, and this is the season of guarantees. सब लोग गारंटी बोल रहे हैं. कांग्रेस वाले भी गारंटी बोल रहे हैं और मोदी की गारंटी बोल रहे हैं. एंड ये सब गारंटी टिकेगा नहीं वो तो हमें मालूम नहीं, लेकिन भगवान का जो गारंटीज 26 गारंटीज यहाँ दिए हुए हैं, ये तो यूनिवर्सल है एंड ओवर मिलेनिया. You know, they call it millennium is 1,000 years, but we in our Sanatan Dharma, Kali Yuga and all millennium is Yuga is of course 10 lakhs or 1 lakh or whatever the time frame that we have. But taking into Sanatan, that is Anadi काल से ये धार्मिक क्वालिटीज गुण जो हैं जो हमको दिए गए हैं, and how useful they are and how practical they are, how comprehensive, how beautifully they have been defined if you look at it. That is extremely very important. One is like Swamini was saying in the previous episode, which I quite liked. So I am also looking at it similarly, like एक तरफ भगवद गीता का पारायण करना और एक स्तोत्र का पाठ करना और जप करना, पूजा करना, and just to pour some flowers on the book, even that also people are not doing. You know, they don't even keep a copy of the book of Bhagavad Gita these days. When that is the situation, the current day, even just पाठ करना भी is not enough. So we'll have to bring it into guna. ये गुना जो बताए गए हैं, I am calling them as qualities or guna. और गुण गान करने से भी अच्छा गुणाधान. That's what is the point she made, and I quite liked. From gunagana to gunadhana, and I would add my bit to it, which is gunadhina. and you surrender yourselves and then you give yourselves to adhin hoke, a guna ke adhin hoke. So from gunagan to gunadhan to gunadhina, once we become so, we can also do gunadhyena and gunadhyapana. ये करने से this applicability and utility will be much more for the 26. This 26, since the time is less, and then obviously the enthusiasm and the importance is much more to highlight each one of them. Actually, I could give anecdote and a short story for each one of the with udaharan, from the Puranas and then the Upanishads, like what are the characters and the characteristics representing several characters in our Ramayana Mahabharata, to highlight each one of these virtues, whether it is from Abhayam to Natimanita, the 26. But when I'm looking at all these guarantees or guna or virtues or qualities, I observed one thing. Actually these 26 are divided in three verses. Like the first verse has got 9, second verse has got 11 virtues, and the third verse has got 6 virtues: 9, 11, and then 6. And of course, the last thing is the Asuri Prakruti, Asuhu Ramante, Asuri, the instant gratifying, hedonistic kind of people, that is the Asuri Pravruti. There are another set of the 6 vices. These are the virtues versus vices. And God has called them property, like I was mentioning in the previous episode. It is just not, tips or tools or techniques, but he called it sampatti, that is the wealth, and then the property. That has got a longer term possession, and then the value and manyata jyada hota hai once you call it a sampada. So that's how the Deva Asura Sampada, we can call it. And these 26 I could divide as essential as well as desirable. So all 26, if we ask somebody, to just apply in your life, these are all very practical, comprehensive. Bole to, it's not enough, yes, sab theek hai, they're all nice words. That is all fine, and it's a way of interpreting like that. And unless we give them like a banana or even a grape, just to put it in the mouth, it make it easier for the janta, their interest, and then their ruchi and then chavi बनाने के लिए, we'll have to make it very, very simple and then practical. In that process, when I'm looking at it, out of the 26, the ones, while others panelists have covered mostly, Jasab and then Swaminiji, all the 26, there's no point in me again listing them down, which are already given, and then the translations have been given into English as well as Hindi. So I am looking at it, a different way of looking at it is the ones which is starting with A. Abhayam, Arjavam, Ahimsa, Akrodha, Apaishunam, Alolupvam, Achapalam, Adroha, and Na plus Atimanita. So there are 8 to 9 virtues which are starting with A. So they are much more, appealing and practical for day-to-day and contemporary वर्तमान जगत में applicable ऐसा लग रहा है. So how I have found them? Of course, none of the 26 can be called as one is more important, one is less important. Otherwise, Lord or God would not have given 26. He would have given 10 or maybe a dozen or maybe 50 or a super 30 or whatever. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Purana, he has, through Narada, he has given 30 such virtues. Yoga Vasishta, maybe there are some virtues which were given. Everywhere in our Vangmaya, there were always प्रस्तुति virtues and qualities गुण का प्रस्तुति किया गया था throughout our Upanishads. But now looking at it, each one, abhayam, fearlessness. What is the bhayam that we have? Dvitiyad vai bhayam. That's what we have. Dvitiyad vai bhayam bhavati. Brihadaranyaka is saying. So if there is a other thing, is there always the fear is from the other thing. So there are 3 things, like I said in the previous episode, about prana, dhana, and then mana. It is about the life. If there is a danger to the life, that is the most important thing. So we are afraid of the death, that is why prana. And then dhana, the wealth. And then the third one is the mana. the so-called status and then the respect that you have, or the haysiyat, all that you have acquired about yourself, your name and then the fame. So these are the three things, and jab bhi there is a threat from others to these three things, there is bhaya. And where will you look for abhaya? Is that, like I said, always all gods are in this pose in our country, all the statues and all. So that means they provide, the most important thing is the abhayam, because Lord Rama, who is the embodiment of Purushottama, and then the God of the gods, Lord of the lords, like Rama, and then Krishna, which is Narayana. So we look at it, Rama says, Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo. So, Dadam etad vratam mama, that's what he said. Because giving the Abhayam is most important thing, and he has proved throughout his life in the Ramayana, like whether it is Vibhishana or Sugriva or anybody you take. So Abhayam is the most important quality. That's why I think he is called. Once we are fearless, I am here, why do you fear? That what is God says, and the concept of God gives us that kind of a fearlessness and then the solace. So that's why he would have started with Abhayam, and he has ended with Atimanita. So these are the things which are prevalent also. Most of the time, the insecure people, because of insecurity, all this natak and then vyapar and then fightings and games, all these things are people seem to be playing. So fearlessness. The second most important thing is the arjavam, which is the ruju pravartana, that is the straightforwardness. Straightforwardness through trikarana suddhi, manasa, vacha, karmana. There has to be chitta suddhi and then straightforward. Then only one tends to be trustworthy in their own pursuits and in the eyes of the others also. So there is an interesting Subhashita which I came across. So it just says about the Trikarina Suddhi, about Arjavam and then straightforwardness. Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam. That's what it says. What does it mean? Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam. See the beauty of the Sanskrit language, and the interpretation. So Manasyekam is the mind is same oneness of the mind, is the unity of the mind, unity of the talk, walking the talk, that's what they say, unity of the talk, vachasyekam. Karmanyekam is the unity of the walking the talk, so the behavior, the conduct of the person. So manasa, vacha, karmana, manasyekam, vachasyekam, karmanyekam. There is unity and then oneness in what you are speaking and what you are doing and what you are thinking. So all these three things are synthesized. So that's when there is a straightforwardness and ruju pravartana. But if you look at it, what is the current Vartaman Jagat mein kya ho raha hai? Same words, manas ekam, vachas ekam, karmanya ekam. Manas ek taraf, manas ekam. Mind is alone in its own way. And vachas ekam, words are in its own way. They are one side. And karmanyekam, and the actions are one side. So this is also, manas one side, and vachas one side, vacha one side, and karma one side. So it is a way of looking at it and interpreting it, manasekam. So trikaran suddhi arjavam, ahimsa. Ahimsa is not only non-violence of the physical nature, but also mental nature. Because anything what we पर पीड़न का जो भी काम होता है वो हिंसा प्रवृत्ति से ही जनित होता है, इसीलिए ahimsa. And people think that ahimsa is attributed to some Buddha or Jaina or something like that, but it is much before, millennia before. Ahimsa is part of our Upanishads. Chandogya, it was given both as the differentiation between physical and mental. It is neither a Buddhist concept nor a Jesus Christ concept about non-violence as it is made to believe. So that is the point that I want to make. So that is the non-violence. Then akrodha, anger, most of the things, because जब भी विषय ध्यायते विषयान पुरुषान कामा से क्रोधा से ये क्या होता है, and we have observed examined in the other verses earlier. So क्रोधा, most of the thing is जब जो चीज हम लोग when we desire and we don't get प्राप्त नहीं होता है तो क्रोध बन जाता है. So that is why क्रोधा. And apayishunam, paraninda, gossip. This is very prevalent these days. And fault finding, I am okay, you are not okay. So in order to put ourselves up, atimanita and apayishunam coming very close, they are related corollary and supplementary. That way, all 26 are each other are corollary and then supplementary if you look at it. So that's why we need to be aware of ourselves and restrain ourselves from the fault finding Paraninda, because Asura Pravrutti is Atmastuti and Paraninda. Always they indulge in Atmastuti and Paraninda. Then Aloluptvam. This is an extremely important current behavior which we have observed, which is desire for freebies. आज की दुनिया में फ्रीबीज जो भी फ्रीबीज मिलता है, जो गारंटीज कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं, फ्रीबीज कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं, and people are susceptible to and then they're falling for the freebies, and that is the times that we are living in. So that is why he is saying aloluptvam, and corruption is also because of the desire for the extra money and freebies. Achapalam, fickle mindedness, changing color, and then party, washing machine, ये सब चल रहा है ना आजकल. So that is related to the achapalam, chanchalata, mind, and now stiratva, adroha, no enmity, and finally atimanita, vainglory, and then the vanity, and then the hypocrisy. Most of the people indulge that which they are not, they keep talking about. So of course, all the 25, I know one person, has claimed very, very, atimanita. So he claimed that I have mastered all the 25 virtues, but somehow one, I know all the 25, I am a master of all that. One fellow is telling about himself. So Lindora Peterata, and the other man asked, which is the one that you have, because there are 26. He said, somehow I am not able to do the Satyam, the truth. So then what is the use of all 25 are gone, because whatever he said so far, that I have done, I have mastered all the 25. That is a jhoot bol raha tha, because Satyam he could not practice. So that is why Narayana Upanishad says, Satye Sarvam Pratishtitam. So once Satyam, if it is, that's why truth is extremely important. Though one gentleman has claimed his experiments were with the truth, and for 30 years I believe that I studied that. But last 10-15 years, my pursuit for and my search for truth is something totally different. But each one can find their own truth. But ultimate truth is Trikala Badita, that is the concept of the God. And if